So here we are. It's Monday the 15th of January. Happy New Year, chaps.
Happy New Year to you, Mick.
Yeah, how are we doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Do you have a good time
If
away?
we can still say this.
I think we can. I
Good.
get away with it for... Definitely in Scotland, you're still saying it well into January.
Fair enough.
What did you get up to, Blissy?
Oh, well, lots and lots. Had a whole Christmas that I managed to survive.
Nice.
Then also managed to survive Nick free from a Boxing Day game down in old Cobham. I then managed to fly overseas, wander around Minnesota for about a week.
Chile?
And then success. Oh, it was surprisingly and mercifully like the most ambient winter they'd ever had. I do also like. Well, so it's still really, really cold, basically.
Yeah.
A bit colder than here. It's also the great thing about having New Year's in America is that you can celebrate four, because they're 4 time zones. You can just kind of go to New York, celebrate there, watch them count the New Year in Nashville, then watch my personal favourite, the Great Idaho Potato Drop,
Nice.
and then watch them ring in the New Year in Los Angeles. It's very, very fun. I had a great time.
That Boxing Day game, you and I came on as front row substitutes and ended up playing 6 and 8 for pretty much the whole second
Did you?
half.
Oh, well done, lads.
Well, actually, Mark, as I'd started the game and I eyed you on the bench, so I don't want any of that smoke, and quickly subbed myself off at half time to prevent any kind of inter-pod violence.
Yeah, I came on as to replace the props, and then all of a sudden the guys that we'd replaced had come back on the field, and there was a scrum and the front row packed down and the second row packed down. Eventually I was just like, okay, well, I'll just join the back of the scrum and off we go. So I played 8 men in the second half.
Boxing Day rugby. Everyone
Great to
is
see.
still very hungover from the night before and don't know what position they play.
Nice.
It's very nice.
Pete, what about you?
Yeah, up and down the A303. I was down in Devon with my parents before Christmas, then Hereford, and then back to Devon. A very quiet New Year with my old man, actually, just chugging a few ciders back, which was really quite nice.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Had good fun with him.
Great. And so we're looking at producer Mark, who's smiling ear to ear because he's got a new toy.
Yes. He's got a soundboard for Christmas.
Go on.
That's the one,
Go on.
H.
Excellent.
Well,
Very
just,
cool. Right, we'll
just an hour of that. Would do.
that'll do. We got a lot to catch up on, lads, but I think we'll probably do some of that as we go into the Cobham review, and as we drop to a slight amendment, we're going to go and do a Surrey review, but maybe in a separate pod. Right, more to that later. But should we go on to our first guest?
Yes,
I think we should.
Some say.
Some say. This is unbelievable, by the way. The quality of guests we're pulling in, just usually from Mark Marieve going through his Rolodex, is quite something. So delighted to welcome a Scottish cap winner. He's the current CEO of London Scottish, and I think he's only just up the road. So put your hands together, lads, for hello to Nick Grecian.
Yes, Nick.
Yes.
Welcome.
All 150 of our hands, according to Mark.
Nick, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much, Nick.
Great, thanks for coming and speaking to us. Let's cut to it. How's Scottish getting on so far this season?
I think, well, if we're talking results, you'd say probably not terribly well. We're second bottom, but actually we're better than that. We're playing incredibly well. We've lost the last 4 matches have been down to 1 score, and 3 of them in the last minute. One of them we beat Ealing, which was just spectacularly good.
Fantastic.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of pleasure out of that one. But we need to get a few more wins on the board, to be honest. But I do believe the boys are really playing well. The scoring tries, it'll come.
It usually does. So yeah, Nick, kind of the obvious question: what was your path, and what led you to helming kind of one of the oldest and most distinguished rugby clubs in London?
In the world.
Hey.
So, is there anything outside the M25? I'm still unsure.
My business life has taken me through the events industry mostly, and I stepped away from my business a couple of years ago while COVID was all going on. So as a loose end and a neighbour of yours and very good friend of mine was on the board at Scottish and said, "Why don't you come back and help join the board?" So I did that a couple of years ago, and then we had a little bit of a change in the management, should we say? And all at one point, I just happened to be available. So, in truth, I'm still officially interim CEO, even though it's been about 18 months now. But
Sounds sort of like you launched a coup, to be honest. But
it really wasn't like that, I promise you.
We believe you.
But maybe it feels like it, and perhaps the casualties might argue the same. But no, we needed a change, and it's all heading in the right direction. We've got a really strong board there now, and actually they're a really good bunch. We can have quite a good laugh and a bit of banter together
brilliant.
as well. So yeah, it's nice.
Nick, it's Pete. Can I just ask you, I've read a little bit the last few days about the championship clubs and the new RFU proposal for the second tier. Could you tell us a bit more about that, could you?
Right, it's very complex, Pete, but I'll give you what I can. Clearly, rugby's having a few problems, and not least at the very top. There's not a Premiership club that isn't in tens of millions of pounds of debt.
Yeah.
And the model isn't working. We are meant to be a feeder. We have the option, luckily, to be either fully pro or semi-pro, of which obviously Scottish are only semi-pro. Where we've chosen to play, best way of describing it is at the level we can afford to.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're described by the RFU as an elite community club. So we still have our amateur teams playing, we still have minis and juniors, but we still aspire to, playing at the highest levels in the first 15.
Yep.
The RFU knows it's got to make changes. The government have given them a bit of a brief for a root and branch reform, which I'm not really seeing at the moment, if I'm honest. The focus has been very much on the top two leagues. But the debate is running on in terms of how they're going to structure it, if they want to encourage different franchises to come into the championship, and how they can structure that to make that appealing to them.
Right.
At the minute, it's not working for us, and the championship clubs you've probably seen have released statements basically saying, no, this doesn't work. There's certain things that are non-negotiable for us, the likes of promotion and relegation.
Yep.
Are fundamental, and as far as we're concerned, just with sport, how can you not have it?
Yeah.
They're also proposing to reduce the funding rather than increase it, whilst increasing the commitment that we've got to make. So it's a difficult one at the moment. We're not very close to a solution, and they were meant to be announcing one this month.
Right. And I read, and whether it's true or not, I don't know, that they might be trying to reintroduce Wasps, London Irish, and Worcester back into the mix. Is that correct?
There's a lot of speculation. On reasonably good authority, I have it that Wasps aren't trying to yet. Irish haven't. There's been talk about things happening between Worcester and other clubs, but there's nothing on that at the moment. No one's actually stuck their head up.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to take it in a different tack. Nick, you were retrospectively awarded a Scottish cap in 1993. Was it that close to the end of your retirement that you didn't make the 95 World Cup squad, or tell me more?
I'm not sure I can bloody remember. It's such a long time ago, but I am proud to be one of the oldest Scottish caps.
Brilliant.
1993, I stopped playing. I had four seasons out at Newbury after I left London Scottish, and that would have been when I left Scottish in 1993. So I went, but the 2 caps were on tour down in the South Seas.
Sounds tough.
So Fiji and Samoa.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those lads are tough. Okay, yeah, it would have been tough.
Yes, yeah, the most painful beach holiday I've ever had.
Getting a retrospective cap, does that mean that when you got it, you went out that night and got steaming rather than having to sort of be diplomatic about it?
Well, that is the way it's going to be. Yeah, the capping ceremony is actually on the eve of the Calcutta Cup.
Oh,
Well, this year. Oh, fantastic.
So in a little over a month's time, I'll get it, and then I'll go out and get steaming.
Oh, well, I'll see you there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's along with quite a few other people, isn't it, Nick? It's gone right back to 1942. I think.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah,
Well,
there's been a few posthumous ones. And there's some incredible stories amongst those guys, as you say, from wartime.
Yeah.
And there's dates back to the most recent ones are myself and a few of my teammates from 1993. I think 1 or 2 might have even got the 94, 95. But
Right. Yeah, it's quite a long campaign, though, wasn't it? The SRU didn't actually cave in until last year, after a long period of pressure, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Pete. There's been various journalists jumped on the case from time to time and written bits and pieces about it and said, it's all the injustice of it all, blah, blah, blah. But the SRU weren't terribly interested then, but I think there's been a bit of a move by different nations to do it.
Right.
The Irish did it last season and went back and corrected it. And the SAU have been talking about it, and they decided actually, I think is it their 150th anniversary this year?
Oh, might be, yeah.
So they thought it might be a nice time to do it.
Yeah.
Coincides with my last game, funnily enough.
And Nick, question: try or no try in the Gloucester Glasgow game? Or the Exeter Glasgow.
The last minute.
Well, in my head, I still play to the rules that were current in 1996, but fuck, it was frustrating as hell.
Oh,
I shouted.
I thought I was try all the way. I don't, it was a massive sort of technicality considering everything was going on both sides, and they picked one thing, and that was that. Oh, this is the decision.
Yeah, I think if any number 8 picks up from the base and then tries and kicks out, it should be an automatic penalty try. That's just not allowed. Nick, I don't know how I managed it, but let me just pick this up and I'll show you. It came into, I don't know if can Nick see that, if he goes a bit closer. It came into my possession, bizarrely on the side of a football field, but I've got a wee book here. It's the 100 Years of London Scottish. And it looks like there's a couple of handwritten letters in it saying thank you to an individual for donating to the tour, the London Scottish tour. So if that would be useful in the club, I'll fire it off to you and you can stick it behind a glass cabinet somewhere.
That's
if that'd be useful.
Incredibly kind of you, thank you.
But I suppose, from all of us, like, good luck to Scottish. I hope the tides turn and you can ride out the championship minutes in the next few games and get some wins on the board. And we all look forward to keeping our eyes on some progress.
Thanks, fellas. Great. I'll keep an eye on yours as well.
Great. Thanks, Dick.
Cheers. Thanks for coming on, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Cheers, boys. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, Nick.
You too.
Mark's playing with his toy again.
Yeah.
Rather that.
Cracking. Any chance of anyone getting a posthumous cap for the country?
Well, I mean, if we played the Jamaican national team, surely ours is just in the post, right?
I think so.
RFU.
Yeah,
I think
I mean,
so.
I've represented England. I've represented Surrey. This is the.
He's got a couple of caps for Jamaica.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Right.
Brilliant. Right. We'll come on to our next guest. Come on to our next guest.
Hear the podfather there. Apparently, he's capped for Jamaica.
Our next guest.
I see.
It's quite
mystery guest.
Quite amazing. So I didn't realise that Scottish had beaten the Trailfinders. That must have been a scalp.
Yeah.
A belter.
We should have asked Nick for some players, really.
I know, but we missed that. Okay. I might pop it. Are you going up for the Calcutta Cup game?
I'd like to, yeah.
I'll get up. I'll see you there. Magic.
Still on my yes here, Nick. So
I'm not
all you
going
have to do is, all you have to do is
to the
ask
Calcutta
me.
Cup, but I am going to the pre-Calcutta Cup capping ceremony because that sounds loose.
Yeah, if you go to the capping ceremony, you're not going to see the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I'll happily go there. Or just like fall asleep in Murrayfield, wake up the next day and refuse to leave.
But yeah, just 2 iron brews and what did I say it was? And a deep fried Mars bar.
Two iron brew and a deep fried Mars bar. You're 100% sober.
Correct.
Ready to go again.
Talking about 100% sober, if I could paint a picture for everyone listening, we're currently in my office, and the table is littered with cans of 0% Guinness, which is depressing, but
wild.
We're just a healthy bunch, aren't we?
Because we are all finely tuned athletes or something.
Well, I mean, these have to be like fairly isotonic, right? It's there's a lot.
I
of
want to
good
know
stuff
if they're
in
as
it.
high in iron as regular Guinness.
I think they only invented it so they can advertise it on French rugby pitches.
Correct.
That's what I think.
And here.
Yeah.
And here now. Well, let me have a quick sip. Shall we introduce our next guest
Yeah.
to the super mega hard quiz?
Yes.
This chap I have met a number of times. Thoroughly likeable gentleman.
He was the loosest person on tour in Jamaica, and he wasn't even in our group.
He didn't even travel.
No, he came down from Florida, right?
Oh yes, he did. So, gentlemen, put your hands together for, I'm going to call him Podfather Sneed's godfather. We've got the godfather of a podfather.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Russ, hello.
Russ,
Good
yes,
morning.
Good morning, Russ.
Thank you.
It's lovely to meet you.
Can you hear me?
You sure he's got the zero? Guinness?
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
We've got you, mate. Now I notice it's obviously
Okay.
early in the. Is it? No, it's the afternoon for you. I beg your pardon. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 20 past 3 p.m.
All
our
right.
time.
So I saw you reaching for a beer. I'm no longer concerned.
Yeah, no.
Blissy, can
Not
you kick
just
us
for
off?
breakfast.
So we've got 5 questions here
Yeah.
for you, Russ. They are of increasing difficulty. And if you get all 5 of them correct, you get 3 packs of Biltong, and they'll be couriered over to you this
What
week.
if I don't get any of them? What do I get?
If you don't get any of them, then you just kind of get mocked by Mark's Christmas present, really.
You'll have
So
to,
yeah,
you'll have to come.
there's a lot
collect it
on
in
the
Nashville.
line here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to come over. You have to come over to Cobham and collect them in person.
To Nashville. We'll meet him in Nashville.
Yeah, we'll go past halfway.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Okay, so Russ, question number 1: what nationality is the golfer Vijay Singh?
Well, I think he's Indian, but he's American, I believe.
I think he was born there, but I think he represents another country.
Yeah, the country that he represents.
Indonesia.
Oh, you're not fair closer.
I'm getting
It is.
warm.
It is an island.
Yeah, so-
Warmer. It's an island.
South Sea Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a guess. Fiji.
Oh. First time.
You folks are very generous.
80% of the time it works. Every time.
Okay. Russ, question 2. Which country won the 2017 Women's Rugby World Cup?
I'll give you a hint. They won the most recent one as well.
New
No, they
Zealand.
didn't.
Yes. Well done.
They did.
Oh, the most recent Women's World Cup. Sorry, I thought you were
Yeah.
saying World Cup in general.
No,
Women's.
the most
Okay,
recent
fine.
rugby women's.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Mark, you got that very wrong.
What did you say, Russ? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You got it? You got New Zealand?
Yeah, you
New
got it.
Zealand,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah,
Yeah.
Silver
There you go.
fern.
Easy. Okay, well, here's one a little closer to where you are. Which West Indian fast bowler was known as Whispering Death?
West Indian what?
West Indian fast bowler was known as Whispering Death.
He's a cricketer, Russ.
A cricketer. Oh, cricket. Not my field of expertise.
I'll give you a sentence with and skip a word and it'll be his name. The bowler's something. The batsman's Willie.
I I have to pass. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll hold that one.
We could lose our rating. We've
I know
said
what
to tell that.
LBW means.
All right.
Ask me what LBW means.
Yeah. What does LBW mean?
Here's a question for us. Which player shares Jonah Lomu's record for the most tries in Rugby World Cups with 15?
Oh my.
And he played for South Africa.
This, eh?
Yeah, he played for South Africa.
On
On the wing.
I see him. I can picture him in my mind. What the heck is his name?
His name rhymes with Ryan Cabana.
Havana.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that if you do your research before the game, there was a player he played against who was slow on the turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right, and then final question for all of the biltong, probably. Who played South African rugby captain Francois Pienaar in the 2009 film Invictus? One of yours.
Damon.
Yeah, it was Matt Damon.
It was.
Yeah. Matt Damon. Rugby, Matt Damon.
I mean, so what do you think, lads? That was a solid 4 out of 5. But given one of the questions was cricket,
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that's a. I think
That's
a
a
pass.
low blow.
It is a low blow.
We'll have a word with a question master.
A low
Don't
blow,
worry.
that.
That was, the famous line, the bowler's holding the batsman's willy.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Russ, there we go. There'll be some biltong winging its way to you in Stindy's backpack when he's flying over to see you. And I think, if I'm right in saying, is your daughter getting married?
He is on Saturday.
Oh, brilliant.
Very exciting.
Well,
Writing a lot of checks.
Mark, what's
She's
the
the youngest.
what's the wedding sound effect on the soundboard?
It'll be fun.
great. Well, have a blast. And congratulations from all of us at the pod.
Lovely.
I think I'll see some of you in Atlanta probably. Is that right?
In Nashville.
In Nashville.
Nashville, Nashville.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Southern season.
Blissy and I and Sneedy will be there. We're trying to convince Mick.
TBC.
TBC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete, if he's game.
No, not a chance, mate.
We need a 9, Pete.
Do you?
Great, Russ. Thanks
We
very
need
much,
someone
pal.
to tell us all the historical facts of
Thank you.
Nashville.
Great to see you.
Cheers, Russ.
Enjoy
Thanks,
your
Russ.
podcast.
Weekend.
Enjoy your podcast.
Cheers, mate.
Love your podcast. Thank you.
Good man.
And we love you.
Yeah. We love you, Russ. We do.
Now,
Should probably just send 3 bags of biltong over as a wedding gift, really.
I think so. That's
Just
right.
from the Cobham pod.
Yeah.
One of them already opened. Perfect.
Yeah.
Should we break for an ad?
Certainly should.
Yes, let's.
Yes. Let us break for an ad. Hang on.
Come on, Blissy. Get yourself in character, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting some sound effects together.
Rustling crisps.
Yeah,
Nice.
this was my.
That's really setting the scene beautifully, Blissy.
Yeah, you know how crisps rustle in pubs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Pete, my old friend, good to see you. I hope you had a lekker Christmas.
As a matter of fact, Blissy, old fruit, I had a splendid time. I met a new young filly, don't you know? Oh, here she comes now. Hello, darling. I'd like you to meet my good friend Blissy.
Delighted to meet you, Blissy. Goodness me. Is that a packet of biltong in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Considering you are significantly more beautiful than the last one, it is in fact both. But keep
All of the above.
But keeping on topic, as a matter of fact, it is a packet of biltong. Would you like to try some? It's just delicious and full of protein.
Oh, my word, that's simply marvellous stuff. Where can I get some?
Biltong's Biltong is the best choice customers looking for high quality protein packed delicious snack. Try Biltong's Biltong today and taste the difference for yourself. To buy online, simply go to biltongbiltong.com or go down to the Cobham Rugby Club bar.
That was brilliant.
That was very good.
Well
Very
done.
quick. Very quick,
you.
mate. Practicing. You're practicing.
I can just speak very fast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And he can read.
Yeah, and I can read.
Surprise!
and I can read to an 8-year-old level.
Like the Gruffalo.
Yes, I can. No, there was actually a really, really nice moment over the Christmas break when my cousin's kid came over, and she's like 2, but she loves the Gruffalo. So I was like, I have an idea.
You wore your shirt, did you?
I wore my shirt, and we watched both Gruffalos together.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
Good lad.
that
Good.
was excellent.
I think it's that time for the Cobham review.
Oh.
The Cobham review. Sound effects,
It
Mark.
didn't work. I need something to...
Jesus, is it being read by aliens or something? What's going on?
Kind of works.
Is that the Windows logon noise?
A little bit.
The old one.
A little bit. Let's go. That kind of works.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. It's in.
Okay, well, on Sunday there was just training for under 5s to under 11s, although the under 11s were playing training matches against old Rogations. It sounds like it was a good competitive session. Geoffroy Mace is instilling the same go-forward instinct in his squad as he gives on the pitch. There is a rumor that he's teaching them French swear words so they don't get in trouble with the ref, but that's just a rumor I'm starting.
What a great idea. Right, so youth. For the youth teams, they're starting the Waterfall and Surrey Cup campaigns in earnest.
Yeehaw.
Under 12 boys really enjoyed their first experience of competitive cup rugby with the first round of the Waterfall Cup. Cobham hosted Barnes A, Wallingham B, and for the newly created Rapids Cup, a collection of Wallingham, Guildford and Rosslyn Park for a C fixture.
Good.
Against Barnes in the traditional Cobham way, the Eagles were firmly on the back foot in the contest for possession, but our fleet-footed players saved the day, coming back from 2-0 down to salvage a draw at 3-3.
Hoo-ha.
Good. Well done, chaps. The Griffins played with panache to beat Wallingham Bees 7-2. Good result. Yeah. And finally, the under-12 Lions combined with Rosslyn Park and played some fabulous total rugby to beat a much larger Guildford Wallingham team 7-4. Particularly noteworthy performances from Felix Scott, Sam Weiss, Finn Palmer-Smith, Dylan Verster, Nick Pederos and Liam Murphy. Well done, lads.
Well done,
Good
lads.
Well done.
Brilliant.
I'm sure
Total
that's for Star.
Yeah, the Cobham way. Yeah, so
Who's
the under 12
Panache?
I like that. Excellent. Played with him.
Yeah, I've not played with him.
I haven't played with him.
No, I think Geoffroy has.
We.
No, I've not managed to play with panache, I don't think. One day. Right. The under-12 girls team started their Surrey Cup campaign with a match against Battersea Ironsides at home yesterday. The squad had the particular challenge of having 21 players available with only 12 on the pitch at any time. A good challenge to have. On the pitch, things didn't go our way. Some missed tackles allowed Battersea to get a healthy lead, and the fight back wasn't quite good enough. Next up, Old Rygations. Player of the day was Sophie, but also more strong running from Nyla and some great line speed from Ava Pettican. Showing the other girls what to do. Not the result they wanted, but they never gave up. Massive shout out and thanks to Grace, our young match official, who had the whistle.
Cracking. The under 13 boys had 3 teams in action yesterday. Leopards started with a brilliant 20 points to 10 win against Sutton and Epsom. It was an all-round team performance led by a strong tackling captain. Oh, seen this name before. Max Sneed. The past tense of Sneed. Everyone played
What's
so well.
the future tense of Sneed?
Sneeding?
Snood.
Snood. Everyone played so well it seems wrong to name check people. However, there's some standout performances. Riley Tubb, 2 years off, obviously works. Great to see him back with an oval ball. Is that Tubb? I think he lives on my street. There you go. Charlie Stevenson, great first outing at prop. Well done, Charlie. Oliver Smith, good strong running. Alex Schaefer, good yardage carrying the ball. Jonty Symes, solid as a rock in defence and precise in attack. Freddie Lilly, a barnstorming try. And Amara Ogulai, Mr. Hat-trick, fantastic.
Hey,
Hey.
good work.
It's a jug.
It is. So the Lions were led out for the first Waterfall Cup fixture by Captain Will Turtle,
Great name.
isn't it?
That's a good name.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Well, the first half was one to forget. 35-0 down. The second half was one to remember. Strong running from Piers Parlodorio, the usual rush defence from Zach and Ben Sharples, some guile from Ben Clark. The Lions clawed their way back into the game. They didn't, did they?
Not quite.
Oh,
If only it had been 5 minutes longer.
yeah.
A different result might have been possible. Final score, Rosslyn Park 35, Cobham 25.
Very good, lads.
Yes, well done.
And then Johnny Wilkinson, Johnny Wilkins led the Tigers to impressive victory, 45-10 versus Gilforians.
That's Johnny.
From about the 10-minute mark, our work on the training ground showed with some fantastic set-piece attack. Committed tackling meant Gilforians were never really in with a chance of victory. Performances of note from Jacob Boma, Johnny Wilkins, Max Gordon and Sean Okagabai.
The under-14 boys won 58-15 in a friendly away versus Wimbledon under-14B, which is good preparation for their Waterfall Cup campaign, which starts for them in 2 weeks. The under-16 girls partnered with Dorking. So they were all Dorking. Even the Cobham ones were Dorking.
The Dorking.
And we was just Dorking all over the place. To win a cracking cup match against Richmond Cluster. Final score was 46-35, with Imogen McKnight scoring 21 points.
Wow.
Oof, one for the
Also,
future.
both Emmy and Elsa refed their first games in the morning, both being under 12 boys cup games. Congrats to both of them.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We
Well
don't-
done. Excellent.
We don't have a game without referees.
No, we don't.
No.
It's your turn, Blissy.
Well,
How'd you get on?
what did I... So, then, we had Beckenham, who have spent a great deal of time at the top of the league this year, come down for the post-President's Lunch entertainment. And I think you could say kind of at the end of the first half, where we put in kind of a really quite impressive shift. We thought played some of the best rugby that we played this, for the majority of the season. Going into the sheds only 7-0 down, having conceded, I think, literally in the last play.
It was the last
of the first half. Yeah, the last play of the first half.
Right.
That we had reason to be confident. And then the second half happened. And I don't think we have had as much reason to be confident as we thought.
What was it?
It was 40 points to 12 at the end of the game, Mick. It was not great.
What happened?
Give Beckenham their due. They are they've been kind of around the top of the league for a very long time for a very good reason. They're a well drilled, very confident outfit. They have 3 or 4 like really, really strong runners of the ball that if you kind of switch off and let them get up any kind of head of speed in any sort of space, they really can make you pay. And they, I think, kind of in the second half in particular, really reacted to kind of a loose bounce of the ball or us making a mistake incredibly well. Like there was, for most of their tries, I couldn't really tell you kind of where it particularly went wrong for us, but it seemed to be kind of 3 phases and bang, they'd scored.
Yeah.
So kind of a few real kind of moments of shell shock for us, which completely knocked us off balance, and we didn't react as well, definitely as well as we should have. But the season's taken a bit of a turn. We're now kind of seem to be kind of drifting slowly towards what looks like a relegation dogfight, unless we kind of turn things around quite.
I think
quickly.
other people have caught us up a bit as well, haven't they?
Yes, I said after Gravesend and Sid Cup, kind of the two teams that we're close to in 10th and 11th, respectively, that they're both good teams. They both will be difficult to beat. I mean, we just after New Year's, we went up to Gravesend, lost a narrow game up there. Because the quality of this league is very, very high. Yeah. I think for what is level 7, there are a lot of teams. Said not much bin juice knocking around. Every team is going to push you.
Got it. And so what's next week?
Next week it is this week I suppose.
Yeah.
It's our rearranged game against Old Alanians.
Oh yeah.
But considering their fields were frozen last time, and it's going to be between -4 and -5 for the next 5 to 6 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's doubts about that
Yeah.
game. But if it goes on, they're high flying, they're free scoring. I think they put 50 on London Cornish last week, but I will refer to Pete for the Cobham review for that. But yes, that'll be a tough assignment, and then I'd know after that it's Sid Cup, which will be 2 very important games. But when you're towards the bottom of the league and you need points, every game's important.
Game in hand, though, Blissy.
Game in hand.
Game in hand.
On the 3 teams below. So, we just need to get back on that winning track.
Okay.
We'll be
Certainly
fine.
do. And we'll be working hard in training, and Billy will be beasting us, and we're going to turn things around, and everything's going to be fine.
Bingo. And
No
then
more
there's a
questions.
Vets game. Got a Vets game coming up this Friday.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a Vets
Friday.
game this Friday. Yeah, that's Old Pauline's at home, right?
At home.
At home, yeah.
At
Yes.
home,
On
yeah.
the AGP.
On the AGP.
So it will
Gets
be
better
on.
and better.
It
Right next
will
to
be
the
on.
bar. I mean,
Pete, guess who got leggings for Christmas?
Ooh.
So I can now walk off the pitch without having welts and burns.
The AGP will find a way.
do you know how we know you're back?
just a ruined reputation, that's all,
Yeah.
Mick.
I got them. I got them from Jeff Roy. He
How do
gave me
you
the
how do you get
inspiration.
ones tight enough for those legs? mate?
Exactly.
They're so skinny.
Exactly. There's nothing in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did the twos get on Saturday?
I don't think they played in the end.
Did they
No,
not?
unfortunately.
And we could have had a third
Yeah,
team
that's
out,
right.
but we couldn't get a fixture for the third team, and I don't think the seconds played in the end. And I'm assuming we had plenty of numbers. So.
Wow. So we had 3 squads and
Yeah.
played one game,
Yeah.
and then you lost.
And we couldn't win after the
No, we wouldn't have helped any, but that's really good. It's good to see that kind of turnout and commitment to the club. But
cracking.
feel free to come down on Friday nights. I think the game is at
7:45.
7:45 kickoff. There'll
Yeah.
be I'll be down. It should
Might
be
be
pretty good.
Might be a late bar.
So
And,
see,
we'll ask Miles.
Yeah.
So if you want to see Mick in his nice new leggings,
To you.
tell him on Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to come anyway, but I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah, we can watch Def Alex
What colour
do some
are they,
hooking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Could be funny.
What colour? What colour are the lovely leggings?
They're just stealth black, right? Stealth black.
But we're going to paint some white Go Faster stripes on them.
If I get a game, who knows? Right.
Selection
Yeah.
We've got to be nice to Sneedy, right?
Exactly. We usually jump into the Cobham mailbag right now, but it's groaning under the weight of having nothing in it. Primarily because actually we've filled all the input into all the Cobham review, which is absolutely fine. But we're going to do something funky now. We're going to end this pod today and say we'll see you next week. And if you would like to get our take on a bit on the Prem, a bit on the Euro Rugby that's kicked on in the last week or so,
But on the hybrid contracts.
yeah, whatever, and talk a little bit about Farrell. What's he going to do? We're going to do
Knowing which Farrell that you could be talking to about there.
Exactly.
Because the Farrell family's been awfully busy.
Exactly.
The boy.
We're going to do that in a separate pod.
And he's dead.
He's dead.
Have you heard the news,
Dead.
guys? You heard the news. We're going to do a separate pod. And for want of a better word, I think it's going to be called the Surrey Rugby Pod. So when you pause this, you can go and have a wee search on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or
Yep. Come through the barriers at Waterloo Station.
yeah, and then have a little listen to us talk about that. Is that right? Thanks, lads.
Anyway,
Of course.
Pleasure.
All right. Cheers, Mick. No problem.
Okay.
Cheers.
take 5.
Bye.
Rugby is the winner!